I had it muted. Hey everyone, it's Marlene of Love Marlene 411, your channel for podcast for the Sip and Chat with my wonderful co-host Miss Nexie, and also these from the live collaboration team. Shout out to Team Build Chill. We This is something that we do on Wednesdays in the month of March, and we've come to the end of it, and we're going to take a break in April, but we will be right back. So if you're new to Love Marlene 411, hit that like, subscribe to this channel, and turn on your notifications. Shout out to all my wonderful team builders. And I'm going to get started on my topic for today. Today's topic, we're going to be talking about the things that define us. So, the topic, what defines you? So, to all of you loved ones, what defines you? What is your thing? What it is it about you that causes you to feel defined? We're going to talk about some of those things, but before all of that, shout out to all my team builders. Hey, Boss Life Online. Hey, Coach Mary. Welcome in, everybody. And as always, you all are always free to drop those emojis. It's very good for my analytics, and hit that like on coming in. So, what defines you? What is important to you? Those are the things that we're going to talk about. A lot of people tend to think that people define us. Many people believe that. They believe that people define you, but they don't. Nobody can define you. You are a reflection of so many things about your own person. And we get off track from that because of life, because we tend to think we're defined because of society, right? We are only as good as how many children we have, how much money we have in the bank, all of these things. So, really, what are the things that defines you? What defines you? What sort of person are you? And that's what we're going to be talking about. It's very important for us to understand that who we are is not a definition of who we have in our life. And that is all realized even more so the more that we love ourselves, the more we take care of ourselves, the more we believe in ourselves, the more we become focused. We have to understand that we are not defined by what we have. We're not defined by who we have in our life. And it's very important to understand that we're not defined by other people, because there's always going to be negative people. There's always going to be people who don't like us. And you're not defined by the amount of likes, and that can go to social media. You're not defined by how many likes, how much people watch your stuff. You are a definition of yourself, okay? You have to allow your life, your journey to define who you are, and not the people who are in it, or the lack of people, because that's something that can get you very frustrated sometimes. Not having people in your life, not having the people who will support you. Lack of support will really break you down, especially when it comes to our relatives. We tend to think that our relatives love us, and they should do this for me, and they should do that for me. We have to get out of that mindset of thinking that people in our life, namely our relatives, love us and care for us, when our relatives can be the most toxic. They can be the most that take from us and pull from us. So we have to define ourselves. The amount of people in our life don't define you. How many people like you doesn't define you. Being in a relationship doesn't define you. And for a very long time, I felt out of place because I could never fit that signature, the home, the car, the husband, the kids, 2.5 children. That wasn't me. So, are you a bad person because you don't fit the societal norms? No, you don't. You are capable and worthy and deserving enough just how you are. Don't let society or other people tell you that you lack the capacity, that something is wrong with you, that something is weird because you don't want to do and be like everybody else. You define who you are by the way that you act, how you represent yourself, not by your situation. And this is a very important thing that I learned when I was going through things like in the pandemic, and my money was really tight and really low because things had just changed. You tend to think that you don't have any worth. You are nobody because you don't have the financial means. And I don't think there's anybody who wants a handout. Nobody wants a handout, but because of life, sometimes we have to be open enough to say, when I need help, I'm going to ask for it. We have to define ourselves, and whether you have lots of money or whether you don't have that much, your financial situation doesn't define you either. There's people who have tons of money and they are miserable. It's not the money that gives you the peace. It's not the money that gives you love. You have to be in a space. It's wonderful if you can have the money, if you can have the life that you dream of, if you can have love, then you seem to have it all. But many people, they can have all of this all day long, but they're miserable inside because they haven't put into the work in themselves to love their own self. That's what defines you. Putting in the work because I love myself, I value myself, I respect myself. Yeah, all of those things. Thank you so much for putting emojis. Hi, Tamika. How are you doing? Welcome in. Appreciate you. Hey, Sylvia. How are you doing? Welcome in. Appreciate you all being here. Thank you so much. If you could hit the like, I'd really appreciate it. I was at that space for a long time in my life when I really didn't have much. I didn't have much money, but just because you don't have much, it doesn't mean you aren't much. And I see people who are homeless. I see people who have left very toxic relationships, and or when you get older, whatever situation, maybe you lose your job, you don't lose value because of you don't have money. I wish a lot of people understand that you don't lose your value because of your financial situation, because anybody could lose everything, but that does not make you a bad person. And your education doesn't define you either. It's a wonderful thing if you can have education. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going against saying it's nothing wrong with having the money. It's nothing wrong with having people around you, but it's you are not defined because you have those things. You're not defined as a good person because you have lots of money or because you have education. That doesn't define you either. You are defined by who you are. Just because you exist, this is the very important thing that I want you all to be on board with. You are defined by who you are. Just because you exist, you have a purpose and value. I wish I knew that when I was younger. Instead of going after what other people have, other people want, trying to pretend, trying to be this character. You are defined by who you are just because you exist. Because you exist, you are somebody. Just because you are here, you have a purpose. Just because you are here, you have value. You don't lose value because you don't have the money. You don't lose value because you are in a relationship or you're not in a relationship. You are not less than because you have children or you don't have children. You are defined just by yourself as a person, as a human being. Just because you exist, you have value. And I want whoever needs to hear that message, I want you to get it. You are not defined by this. You're not defined by your education. You're not defined by things. You're not defined by whether people like you or don't like you. You define yourself. Okay? You define yourself by how you just being alive, just because you are here. And that's something that I want everybody to be on board with, that and to get it and to receive it and to lock it in. Just because you exist, you have value. Yes, you do. And I wish that I knew that when I was younger, that I have value just because I'm alive. You are not valuable because your mother or your father or your siblings, or you're in a relationship, or friends or people or money, because we tend to look to these things so often. Whether our friends like us, whether we have a good job, whether we have education, whether we have all of those things. But what if you don't have any of those things? Do you have less value as a human being? Yes, there are always going to be people who will be negative and will look down on people because they don't have much money. There will always be people to look down on you because they don't like your personality. There will always be people to look down on you because you have children or you don't have children. People will always be judgmental, and we can't stop that. You can't stop people from, liking you or not liking you, or making choices, or the way they support or don't support you. You have to just continue to be yourself and defining who you are as a woman and as a man. And knowing that, having that knowledge, that fulfills me in a way that nothing else can. When I realize that about myself, that I define myself, it's not who defines me, it's not what, it's myself. It's you as a woman, it's you as a man, it's the choices that you make, it's how you treat yourself. That is what is important, not what other people tend to think about you. Okay. It's really important for us to get that point. Okay, what am I missing? Hey, Team Bill with Gio, how are you doing? Welcome into everybody in the chat. Hey, Emma, how are you doing? Great live. Thank you so much, Shay. How are you doing? Happy Wednesday. Thanks for being in the clouds. If you guys could hit the like, I'd really appreciate it. Hey, Robert, welcome in. Hey, her. Thank you so much. Welcome in, everybody. I hope I don't miss anybody else. Hi, Miss Creatively Me. Welcome in. Appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. So let me get into my next point that I have here. Let me see if I can pull it up. Okay. Yes. You having a lot materially doesn't define you. There are a lot of people that's what you strive for. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm all here for you having the sustenance, the covering, to be able to care for yourself and your family. All of that. Yes, that's important to be able to provide. But just because you have a lot doesn't mean that you're going to be okay here. It doesn't mean that you're going to get what you need physically. A lot of times we put so much focus in on, providing for ourselves, that we forget things that are important, like loving our family, spending that important quality time with them, building relationships, learning to respect ourselves. Those are the things that define who we are, our ability to bounce back. And I'm here to tell you that, other people don't understand what you may be dealing with in your life, what you have gone through, what other people have said about you, the things that people speak over you in your life. Other people don't know that, but you do. You know your ability, you know what you can, but don't let other people ability to like you or not like you make you feel inferior. You are not inferior because of other people and their projections of you. Yes. See, you are defined by your actions. This is a very important point. What defines you is your actions. It's not about how other people act, but it's your reaction when you're pressed, when you're pushed aside, when people talk about you, when people do things to you, what do you pour out? Do you allow yourself to bless other people? Do you pour out more kindness, more consideration, more loving kindness, more mercy and self-control? See, that's when you really find out who somebody really is. Make them mad. I always say, how you see somebody when they're mad, that is the real them. And if they act immature, they come out of a bag, they throw you under the bus, that's the real them. And people would just make some excuses and say, oh, they're just having a bad day or they're tired. No, there's no excuses for that. There is never an excuse to be rude. No matter what you're dealing with and going through, there is never an excuse. That means that's who you are because you choose that. Every day we have to choose how we're going to treat not only ourselves, but how we're going to treat other people. Could you be kinder? Could you extend some mercy, some loving kindness, some patience? See, that's what you're defined by. And I always want my legacy when I am no longer here. I want people to say that about me. Marlene was kind. Marlene was patient, understanding, giving, would give her last because that's what how my parents raised me to be, and that's how God has transformed me to be into this woman. And don't get me wrong, it's not easy. I don't always want to be nice. I get frustrated, I get irritated with people, but because I know of my purpose, because I don't know what another person is going through, I don't automatically jump to conclusions and assume that I know what they're dealing with and going through. No, you don't. You never know when it could be you in those same said shoes to you needing a help, a handout, you needing some mercy, you needing some patience, you needing some loving kindness. So, could we be nicer to our neighbors, to our friends, to people who we don't know, people here on social media? Yes, we could. You are defined by your actions. How you treat people, it follows you. You never know when it could be your turn to be on the receiving end of a blessing. We never know when our life can change. We never know when our life can shift and we need the assistance of others. So be careful how you treat other people because one day you may be in the position of needing help. Okay? Here's another one. This is very important. Um, you are defined by God. Huh? Come on. You are defined by God. And I know that somebody needs to hear this message. You are not defined by your past. Even when other people will call you out, say you did this and you were that and that, and yada, 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 on it goes. But you're not defined by your past, what you did, who you were. See, at certain points in our life, we can only operate with our knowledge, with how we feel about ourselves, the way we were raised, our belief system. We can only operate at that point. But when you know better, you do better. When you know of love, then you possess love. See, once I was introduced to loving myself, that's when I knew how to be a good friend. When I knew how to be a better sister, a better daughter, a better friend, a better mentor. I possess those things now. Yes, it was patience, it was time, it was age, it was the alignment of all of those things. But I knew for sure that I became brand new and I was able to give this message to other people that you are not defined by your past. You're not defined by who you were and the decisions that you made formally in your past. See, God doesn't judge us. And I know that other people do, but you can't allow other people to take you backwards when you're moving forward. So you're not defined by God by your past. You're defined by who you are presently today as a woman and a man. And I'm so grateful. And I have to say, I'm so grateful and I'm so thankful that God has enough patience, loving kindness, and mercy to not judge me by who I was. Because I know I was mean, I was cutthroat, I was jealous, I was a liar, I was a thief, I was so many things that other people, sometimes people in the world, people, your own relative, they only see you when you were in that space of immaturity, when you were in that space of not knowing yourself, not believing in yourself, listening to other people, being very gullible. When you make one bad decision, some people will pass judgment about you for your entire life. But you don't need those people in your life. You are not defined by what you did, you're defined by who you are today. And I'm so grateful and I'm so thankful for that. Whoever needs to hear that message, whatever you have done, whatever it is that you've been beating up yourself about, release that. You know, when we go to God and we say, God, I did this and I hurt this person, or I did this, or I disappointed this person, or I should have done this and I knew better, but I didn't do better. And I'm sorry. Once we say we're sorry and we ask for forgiveness, we can release that and we can let it go. See, you're not defined by God by your past, but you're defined by your present. And I'm grateful for that. And I'm grateful for the message that I'm giving on today. Yes, happy Wednesday, Robert. Thank you so much for hitting the like. Miss Emma says, Amen. Find something. They always will find something wrong with you. People always will. You can never please everybody. You can't. It's impossible. Don't try. All that matters is that you are doing your personal best. You know, that's what's important. You doing your personal best. Everything else is irrelevant. Everything else is irrelevant. So don't worry about other people. Don't worry about what they're saying. Don't worry about what they're doing. We are the ones that have to define who we are. How do we treat ourselves? You know, that's a very important walk as a woman and a man, you know, in your maturity. You have to realize where there's certain individuals that you can't keep in your life because they will break you down, they will have you stuck, they will affect your mental health, your peace of mind. You'll never be able to have anything because they're always, you know, with their hand out. Can you help me? Can you help me? Can you help me? But they will never extend that same hand to you and say, do you need help? See, when we learn to define ourselves, it means that we're mature enough to know a balance. I know how to be supportive. I know how to be kind to others. But at the same time, I know how to protect my own self. I know how to speak up for myself. I know how to respect myself. I know how to respect my body. I know how to be a lady. And I'm going to bring this all the way back. We have to start bringing back class, you know, dressing classy, dressing to get respect. A lot of people think that they deserve respect, but respect is earned. How do you dress? You know, you get, other people will look at you and say, do you deserve to be respected? Or how are you dressing? How are you looking? How are you talking? You can't, you know, get upset, rant and rave and rage and scream, and you got your cheeks hanging out, you got these hanging out, you got this, you got everything showing, or you're cussing out everybody the first moment that you get upset with them. Come on, everybody. Let's treat others with love, treat other people with compassion, because you never know, at one period of time in your life, you may make some big mistake in your life and need that same compassion, that same forgiveness. Okay. Uh, I like to, you know, most of the time, give people the benefit of the doubt. Don't assume that you know. You'll say, oh, they meant to do that. We look at our life like it's a personal attack. They're trying to hurt me. And it has nothing to do with us. Most people are just trying their best to survive and do what they need to do. Okay. People are just doing what they need to do in order to survive. And it has nothing to do with you. But also, you don't allow people to disrespect you. See, that's what defines you. A lot of people think that you're only a good person if you constantly give and hand out and taking. No, 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 no. Balance. You give when it is in the power of your hand. When you can help somebody and you don't, that's wrong. But when you have to lose, or your bills aren't going to be paid, or you won't be able to do certain things, or you know that you're physically exhausted and you just can't, That's where you show how you define yourself. Never put yourself last. Never put yourself last on the list, no matter who it is, with your children, in your romantic relationship, on the workplace, with a friend. Never put yourself last, because people will see that. Oh, they'll do it anyways. They'll say they're tired. They'll complain, but they'll do it anyways. No, you define yourself. You have to show people how you want to be treated. And until you know how you want to be treated, you're always going to get foolishness. Thank you, Robert. Yes, God is able. God is able to save, to protect, to encourage, and to elevate you. That was for somebody. I don't know who it was, but sometimes we feel that we can't elevate and we can't get to certain spaces in our life, but God is able. But we have to believe that. And like I said in a short on my other channel, that the time to know and to trust God is not when things are going well, but what about in your struggle? What about when your difficulty, when other people leave you and support you? Is that when you say God doesn't exist, or you throw up your hands and scream and say there is no God? That's the time where you say, I know that you're a way maker. I believe in you and I trust you. Direct my life. That's the time to trust God. And amen. That's the time to trust God. Yes, that's the time to trust God. It is. Yes, Robert. Those who judge will be judged themselves. Yeah, they never think. They never think that their time will come. Hey, Maria, how are you doing? Welcome. You never know when the shoe can be on the other foot. Not all the time. I say that all the time. That's why when it is in the power of my hand, I don't care who it is. It could be a homeless person. It could be whoever on the street. But if my spirit tells me, give to them, I'm not asking questions. I was like, and they're like, why are you giving me this? Because the Holy Spirit told me to, and I'm obedient. Hey, come on, somebody. I don't need to learn that lesson again, because one day somebody blessed me when I was in that position and I needed a handout. Don't forget to give to others. Okay. Yeah. Never judge a book by its cover. Yes. Thank you so much, Sylvia. Appreciate it. And next up, we have Be Amazing Sylvia. She's coming in another 2 minutes. I just want to thank everybody who came in with the live collaboration team with Team Build with Geo. It's a member-only channel where we do, boy, my mind just went blank. Well, we do, wow. Completely blank. We do networking, we do cross support, we do playlists, we support. We're a family, okay? And shout out to all of my team builders. I appreciate every single one of you. And to anybody who is interested, join Team Build with Geo. It's the best $2 you could ever get. Yes. Thank you so much, Emma. I appreciate it. I appreciate everybody who is here. Thank you all so much for supporting me and this channel. And tomorrow, which is Thursday, it's myself and my co-host, Miss Nexie, and we do the Sip and Chat at, I believe it's 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So tune in tomorrow for the Sip and Chat with my co-host, Miss Nexie. And next up is going to be Amazing Sylvia. Yes, thank you all so much for supporting me. Yeah. That's okay. Don't worry about what other people have to say, Maria. Yes. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yes. So we're going over to Be Amazing Sylvia, everybody now. Yes. So I appreciate everybody's support. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for supporting this channel. Shout out to all my amazing team. my amazing team builders. And I will see you guys the next time I fill in for the live collaboration team. And if you have not hit the like on the way in, please hit the like on the way out. I most definitely will appreciate it. And I will see you guys on the next one. Thank you so much. Everybody have a great rest of your day. Bye bye, everybody.